Alrighty, so earlier today we got the EZA kit details for this man right here, Dokkan INT YAMCHA from 2022. I was expecting that his EZA would happen sometime during this whole campaign with OG Dragon Ball because of how he is an Earthling just like Mercenary Tao, and today we got his EZA kit details. So we're going to go ahead and break this down. From what I saw earlier today briefly, from what I've seen from other people, it seems like his EZA is an insanely powerful one at that. So I can't wait. We're going to go ahead and break his kit down in great detail. We'll talk about how you want to probably build him with a hidden potential system, all of that fun stuff. I'm so excited for this. I hope you guys are excited, and of course, as always, I hope you guys will enjoy the video. If you do, show your support, comment down below your thoughts, drop a like down below, subscribe to the channel. But with that being said, let's go ahead and get right into this. So first thing is first, let's go ahead and talk about what his kit can do with the EZA. So with the leader skill, not much has changed. Again, like the other kind of 200% leads, the only change with the EZA is this extra additional key +1. That's the only thing. Besides that, his lead is pretty much the same. 170% to stats for Earthbred fighters or Saiyan Saga, with an extra 30% for characters also in Earthlings or Turtle School. So very straightforward there. With the passive, this is where a lot of the changes have been seen. So activates the intro animation when there is another Earthbred fighters category ally on the team upon the character's entry. When this happens, for one turn he'll be boosting his dodge chance by 20%, and for 5 turns he'll be boosting himself with key +3 and attack and defense plus 200%. Now unfortunately, just like all intros, these are only temporary buffs, but still, for like short form content, like super battle roads and stuff, or like battle hard formidable foes, this is really great in terms of that type of content, even some red zone stages where the fights are very short. So for me personally, I am very happy with this in terms of how it works. Crazy stat buff right there. For the basic effects, so key +3, attack and defense 200%, built-in 50% chance to perform a crit, 50% chance to dodge, which is really nice. Launch additional attack that has a great chance to become a super, and randomly change key spheres of a certain type other than key spheres to rainbow key spheres. For every rainbow key sphere that he obtains, he'll be boosting his defense by 40%, and he'll be boosting his chance to dodge by 10% before attacking. So let's understand what that means. Hypothetically, in a perfect kind of scenario, the most rainbow key spheres that you can obtain is 5. So if that is the case, you're boosting your defense right there, 5 rainbow key spheres, so 200% gonna boost right there, and also you'll be boosting your dodge chance by 50% before attacking. This, coupled with his high chance to dodge, should basically add up to be a 100% chance to dodge before he attacks, assuming you can get 5 rainbow key spheres. Now if you can't do that, on average I would probably say you should expect 2 to 4. You're still boosting your dodge chance to 70% up to 90% chance if the math is coming out the way I'm thinking it should. So that is still really powerful for a character who, as we'll see, he wants to dodge attacks to benefit himself. So this is a really nice kind of focus right there. I'm glad it not only buffs his dodge chance but also his defense, because that means even if you don't dodge, you're still being a defensive tank as best as he possibly can. So I think that's really good as well. But yeah, really great stuff. For every attack that's performed, he's boosting attack and defense by 40% up to 200%, so 5 attacks to get this done. And also he's boosting his crit chance by 10% up to 50%. So again, 5 attacks. That's all you gotta do, is 5 attacks for this entire kind of part of his passive to be filled. And let's understand what this means. He's basically getting 200% to his stats, which is essentially going to replace this part of his intro buff right here. So if you're upset about losing this, don't worry, you're gonna get it back right here. And then also, he's getting himself a guaranteed crit, because once you do the 5 attacks, 50% chance to do a crit right there, plus the high chance right there, he's doing crits. He is critting so easily. You do not need to put a single bit of crit into his hidden potential system. I think I have some crit on my original build. I'm gonna change that, because you don't need crit on this build with this passive the way it is. So really great stuff. After evading an attack, launches 2 additional attacks, each of which has a high chance to become a super within a turn, so that's a 50% chance to become a super. And then as the second or third slot character, he will launch an additional that's a high chance to become a super right there. And then also there is some more to his passive. So for every super that he is performing, let me go ahead and move this here, he's increasing his dodge chance by 10% within the turn. So really powerful stuff right here. When we look at the whole kind of passive, right, so let's count how many attacks that Yamcha can do. So Yamcha, he's got his basic 12 key, right, let's count, so that's 1. Then you go right here, launches additional, that's a great chance to become a super, so let's assume that's a super, that's 2. Then right here, after dodging, he launches 2 additionals that each have a chance to become a super, so that's 3 and 4. And then, if you're dodging attack first, then that's going to be slot 1, so that won't apply to this part right here, but that's 4. Then you get the hidden potential system, maybe additional, that's 5. That's 5 additional supers, like 5 supers he could do in a turn potentially, like in theory. That's 50% chance buff to his dodge chance within the turn after doing the supers. He has so much crazy potential as a dodge character. Now we have to understand there is a caveat, and a lot of people have been critical of Yamcha in this specific sense. His kit is so powerful as a dodge kit, but there are fights where dodge is cancelled. And this is true. I mean, there are hard fights, hard red zone stages where dodge is cancelled. In those situations, half of Yamcha's kit becomes null and void because this part right here is no longer relevant. This high chance to dodge is not relevant. This right here is completely useless in terms of what it is, but he still is boosting his stats. He's still boosting his defense right here with the rainbow key spheres. He's still orb changing. He can still work in slot 2 and slot 3 for additional attacks. He's doing a bunch of great stuff right there. He's got a bunch of stats to offer. Honestly, he still could handle himself pretty well, I would think, even if he cannot dodge in the grand scheme of things. So yeah, I mean, Yamcha still seems really good to me. I don't know if I want to go so far as to say that he is a top 1 TUR, like EZA in the game, whatever. I think like that title probably goes to Tech Kefla, but Yamcha I think should be in the conversation. I'll say that because he seems incredibly powerful. You know, Path to Power Goku's another one that comes to mind. But these characters, man, they are just really locked in when it comes to these characters with the EZAs. A lot of these EZAs I feel like have been pretty good in the grand scheme of things. Some have been fumbles, no doubt. I think, you know, when I look at the freaking Namek buffs, I think that's the one that hurts the most, is those EZAs were all fumbles, and it feels like all the good stuff that were supposed to go to them went into Yamcha's kit. Like no joke. But I mean, it's really crazy. For these super attack effects, so I forgot to mention this. So Yamcha greatly raises attack and defense for 1 turn, cause immense damage with a high chance to stun. So the high chance to stun, 50% chance right there, doesn't necessarily apply to every single boss, but when you can stun, that's pretty clutch. And then the greatly raising attack and defense is really good because, again, we go back to his passive. His passive has a lot of built-in dodge. If you're facing a dodge canceling situation, put him in slot 2, slot 3, maybe get some additional supers and stuff. All of a sudden, he's boosting his defense, you know, greatly raising defense for a turn with all the defensive stats and everything. He should still be good in a lot of situations. So, I mean, Yamcha, I gotta say, Yamcha's looking really awesome. I am so excited to see what he can do in game. And honestly, I can't wait to see what all is he capable of, because I just feel like he's going to be such an insane good character. Now, speaking of Yamcha, when is he going to get his EZA released? Well, with the JP data download, we have the schedule update for that. So we still are awaiting the release of the part 2 LRTN, but we see right here, Yamcha's EZA is set to release basically 2 days after TN drops. So TN is going to be dropping tomorrow evening, right? You know, basically like a bit less than 24 hours from now. So Yamcha is going to be dropping 2 days after TN drops. So, you know, pretty soon after, we can look forward to that. It's going to be great. I mean, obviously we'll get Dragon Stones, which we'd love to have that. But this is going to be a fun time for sure. I really can't wait to have Yamcha just EZA'd. Yamcha, when he was released, he was a character that so many people were like, really? We're getting Yamcha? He's going to be a joke. And then he was such a fun character. Not necessarily like OP or broken, but he was just such a fun character on release. I feel like he's going to be that much once again right now with his EZA. He just feels like he's going to be so much fun. Maybe not broken, but again, just such a fun character for so many different things. Now, when we talk about Yamcha, and realistically, maybe I should go into the global side of things because that's probably more appropriate. So when we look at Yamcha and everything that he has to offer and everything, Yamcha, the cool thing about him is he is able to link with some solid kind of characters, you know, obviously a lot of Turtle School and stuff. Obviously linking up with Ultimate Gohan is a pretty nice kind of thing right there, because we are expecting Ultimate Gohan to get his EZA sometime soon. But really the cool things for me, Yamcha is a free-to-play, you know, farmable kind of super attack person. So if you got a Yamcha and you got the EZA, just use other like free-to-play options to farm the super attack. You don't even have to spend Kais on them, which is awesome. And he fits onto some cool categories like Earthbred Fighters, Earthlings, you know, Turtle School, Worthy Rivals. That's an interesting kind of category that sometimes I actually forget Yamcha's on, but he is a part of that, and Kamehameha. So yeah, just great stuff, man. Yamcha, he this month of like May or June or whatever, it has been such a blessing to be like part of the game in terms of like characters who are performing really good. If you're an Earthlings kind of fan, like Mercenary Tao is great, Tien looks awesome, Yamcha looks great. The only characters who are recently released who look terrible in the grand scheme of things are these 3 Namek bums right here. And I hate saying that because I love Namek so much, but these 3 they just are so underwhelming in terms of what they could have been. The others are so amazing. General Blue's awesome. Yeah, I mean, I really don't have much else to say. There really isn't much to talk about other than just Yamcha, but we have to understand this is incredibly powerful what's going on right here. But yeah, let me know in the comments down below, What do you think about INT YAMCHA's EZA? Do you think it is broken? Do you think it's a bit too much? Do you think it's pretty well balanced? What do you think about it overall? If you enjoyed the vid, because we are going to be wrapping up the vid right now. If you enjoyed the vid, show your support, drop a like down below, subscribe to the channel, show your support right there. Thank you all so much for watching. Take care, stay blessed, and I will see you all in the next one.